Welcome to Studies in Theatre MOOC program. We are in the discussion about writing, and today we will continue a discussion about an important topic, important genre of writing in theatre, and that is how to write monologues. What is monologue and how to write them? Monologues are solo performances in which a single character addresses the audience or another character. Its significance is that it is a very powerful storytelling device. It allows characters to express their thoughts and emotions and motivations directly to the audience. These days, there is a lot of trend for monologues because monologues are a very innovative dramatic text through which you can get to know a person's mind, personality, to a certain extent, the past of the person, and sometimes what the person may do in future. So it is something which is centered on one character. It is spoken by one character. The audience is supposed to listen to it. The character addresses the listeners directly, the audience directly, and a single character shapes the entire drama through his or her character dialogues. The interactive element may not be there in such a speech, but what you see is that the element of drama is not lost. Despite the fact that there's no dialogue, there are no two people on the stage. But even then, the speech is delivered, the monologue is delivered, and the single speaker takes the audience onto a journey of his mind, inside his mind, her mind, or probably life, actions, planning, uh, aspirations, psychological deviations, complexities, nuances of nature, future planning. So, all these things can be shared. So, this means that it is a very important, very powerful, and very innovative method through which the actors can perform and try to assert themselves as very good performers. So, if you want to begin your journey into acting and writing, monologue is something that you can always try because you can try writing a monologue, you can also try performing a monologue. And I believe that whoever is writing should be able to perform to a certain extent. Not necessary that all of us who are writers or somebody who wants to be a writer should be an equally good actor. But to a certain extent, you can give it a try in order to feel what your writing may appear when it is performed, when it is delivered on stage. And you can also enjoy its nuances better, and that also adds to your writing. So, of comfort, no man speak. This is a monologue from Richard II, Royal Shakespeare production. So, purpose and function of monologues in theatre. A monologue tells you insights into a character's psyche, background, inner conflicts, deepening the audience's understanding and connections with the character. You see, monologue can exist in isolation from a play also, and monologue exists inside the plays also. And this is the reason that there are so many famous monologues present in Shakespeare's plays, and they are performed in isolation to these complete plays as well, because they have this whole drama element full in them, and we can perform them to a certain extent on their own. So it tells you the development of a character. Monologue tells you how a character is evolving and how a character is taking shape, because the mind of the character is changing, you know the background of character, what conflicts are going on in the mind of the character. So the audiences get to know the character in a deep way when they come across with monologues. Then narrative advancement. Monologues drive the plot forward by revealing crucial information, advancing the storyline and introducing key themes or conflicts. So monologues take the plot further because there is some plotting, planning, information which can be delivered and conveyed through monologues directly to the audience. So it takes the story forward, it takes the whole plot forward and introduces key themes or conflicts in the play. Then, emotional impact. Monologues evoke powerful emotions in the audience, ranging from empathy and compassion to tension and suspense, as characters grapple with their dilemmas and revelations. So, monologues create a very powerful emotional response in the audience. It can be empathy, it can be compassion, it can be tension, suspense, because they express their dilemmas. They give you revelations of the inside of their mind and the other people's mind. So emotionally, audience have a time to listen to the words of a character, and through the help of those words they are transported into the inner aspect of the play, in the layers of the play. Because when there is a dialogue or when there is a repartee taking place on the stage, when action is taking place on the stage, then the audience is somehow, they adjust themselves with various characters on the stage. They are busy watching one from the other, what is one saying to the other. So monologue is a moment of that peace, or moment of settling down with the aspects of performance as well as audience. So emotional impact is an important thing, and then thus it involves the audience. Because when a character is speaking or delivering a monologue, the character is speaking only to the audience, and therefore audience finds a space in the equation of performance or speech. They find a place, they have their own standing at that moment, because the character is not speaking to herself or himself, the character is talking to the audience. So this way audience are engaged in the play and they become part and parcel of the play. There are different kinds of monologues. The first is dramatic monologues. And this variety of monologues, that is dramatic monologues, are the most popular. They are very significant. They are very widely shared and written by poets and playwrights. These are intense and emotionally charged dramatic monologues, delve into profound themes, internal struggles, and existential questions of the characters. So, full of emotions because it's dramatic monologue. There is this high sense of drama in them. Monologues, they give you very detailed in themes, very depth of character's personality, the struggles that the character has, and the question of the survival, existence. These are asked and posed in dramatic monologues. They are often delivered in moments of crisis or introspection. Dramatic monologues reveal the characters' raw emotions, vulnerabilities, and the inner turmoil. So they happen generally in a crucial moment of the play, when there is so much in the heart of the character that he or she needs to unburden herself, himself, to somebody, and that somebody becomes the audience. It's the audience to whom these things are shared. um, the the emotions, the vulnerabilities, all those things have to be unburdened, and they find audience as the listener, and they reveal everything that they have in their mind. So Hamlet's soliloquy in Shakespeare's play Hamlet, his soliloquy, and Blanche Du Bois' monologue in Tennessee Williams's A Streetcar Named Desire, very famous monologues. These are two very famous monologues. Often, people from the world of drama have cultivated their acting skills, have chiseled their acting skills by training themselves into delivering and performing these monologues. So it's a beautiful dramatic piece. It inspires you into acting. It makes you an actor. So that is the power of monologue. It pushes you towards performance because it takes you towards the audience. You, not physically but dramatically, it creates you as a complete moment of drama because you have to take forward the text, the story, when you are performing a monologue. So, comedic monologues, these are designed to entertain and amuse, and these rely on humor, wit, and comedic timing to engage the audience. They often feature exaggerated characters, absurd situations, and clever wordplay, eliciting laughter and enjoyment from viewers. So these are, lighter texts because they aim to make people feel light, funny, full of fun, and laugh. It is meant to amuse, it is meant to entertain, humor is there, wit is there, and it doesn't mean that they are easy to write because comedy is not something that you can write very easily. It is equally difficult to write comedy as is difficult to write any serious monologue or a dramatic monologue. So there is a lot of wordplay in these kinds of monologues. That wordplay leads to laughter. There is build up. There is absurd situation, and exaggerated characterization is there. So this leads to joy among the viewers. Some of the examples of this kind of monologue are the stand-up comedy routines that people are doing these days, sitcom monologues, and the comedic sketches in variety shows that are viewed by us in various kinds of programs. So I'm Not a Bad Guy is a monologue by Martin from the sitcom Fleabag, and this other picture is the picture of Hamlet's soliloquy in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Then another monologue is character monologues. Character monologues provide insights into these specific characters' thoughts, feelings, and motivations within the context of the story. They contribute to the character development, offering glimpses into characters' personality, backstory, and relationships with others. Uh, so, what is a character monologue? It's insight into the thoughts of characters, feelings. What is the character feeling? What are the characters' motivation in the particular context of the story? They are very important for the development of character, for the future furthering of the story and plot, and they are therefore used to directly talk to the audience at a juncture in the play where a moment is required for the characters to one of the characters to come on stage and perform this monologue and let the audience know what is going to happen, what has happened, what are the inner nuances of that particular play. So this picture gives you a certain idea of how emotionally charged the monologues are, and how deeply involved the playwright is in these kinds of writings. How to write effective monologues? So you must have, first of all, clarity and purpose. What are you writing and why are you writing? So these two must have a connection with each other. There should be a purpose and there should be clarity. So define the objective of the monologue and ensure that it serves a clear purpose within the context of the story. Every monologue should advance the plot, reveal character insights, or contribute to the thematic development of the narrative. So monologue should advance the plot. As I said, it should reveal some inner aspects of the character, and it should not stand as a kind of digression, but some kind of detouring to know more about particular thing in the situation of the story or the play, and to develop the narrative of the play. Character authenticity is another aspect of monologues, because the characters stay true to their voice, their personality, motivations when you are crafting the monologue. So look at the character, the voice of the character, what kind of personality does the character have, and what could be the motivations for the character that are pushing him to speak this. So while writing, keep this in mind. Then another thing that you must ensure is the language, tone and style of the monologue align with the character's traits and background. If they are not in alignment with each other, then this will be a problem. So everything should be in tune, in sync, whether it's language, whether it's tone, whether it's style of the monologue, they all should align with the character's background, character's traits, and that is important. So keep also in mind that in order to achieve character authenticity, you must focus on emotional depth and complexity. The characters should be given certain emotional depth and certain complexity. They should not be linear characters, two-dimensional characters with a very simple kind of personality, not much to offer to the people, because that will not interest the audience, because a person who delivers a monologue in a play is a very complex character, is generally a character about whom the audience is most of the time very much aware to understand. So explore the inner conflicts of characters, the emotional depth, vulnerabilities, and then you can create compelling dramatic tension in your monologue. Then moving on, you also need to take care of emotional depth and complexity by infusing the monologue with resonance to engage the audience on a visceral level. Another important thing that has to be kept in mind while writing effective monologues is the engaging dialogue and imagery. So, dialogue that is engaging, that is dynamic and memorable dialogue, capturing the audience attention from the outset, use vivid imagery, descriptive language, and sensory details to paint a vivid picture and emotional responses. So, dialogues that you are writing must be very engaging. The imagery should be very interesting. Language should be descriptive. Vivid imagery should be there, and details of senses are used to paint the vivid picture of emotional response. Then what about the structural considerations? Please pay attention to the structure and pacing of the monologue, incorporating rises and falls in intensity to maintain dramatic tension. Break the monologue into distinct beats and transitions to guide the audience through the character's emotional journey. So it's very important to pay special attention to the structure and speed of the monologue. Where will the action rise? Where will the action fall? Where will you have the most complex intensity to stretch the dramatic tension? And how different kinds of beats and transitions are there in the monologue, where you can change over, where you can continue. So these structural considerations should also be kept in mind. Revisions and feedbacks. Revise and refine the monologue through multiple drafts, seeking feedback from peers, mentors, and actors. Be open to constructive criticism and be willing to make revisions that strengthen the impact and effectiveness of the monologue. So, revise your monologue, refine your monologue, have multiple drafts. Don't just be satisfied with one or two drafts. Seek feedback from peers. In writing, it every stage of writing creatively, it is important, especially in drama, that you seek feedback from peers or mentors and actors. And you must not be discouraged by criticism. Maybe you have not been able to write a very good monologue right in your first go. So try to think of the feedback, take it positively, and you can always improve upon by following these things. So these are some tips for creating dynamic characters in monologues. So you must have well-rounded characters with some specific features in their personalities, of having flaws, having virtues, vices, motivations, aspirations, dreams, planning. Some kind of complexity is there for to make a well-rounded character. If a character is too simplistic, if the character is very not very inspiring, then it doesn't serve the purpose of monologue. It can be good, it can be bad character, it can be good character, but what is more important is how you profoundly sketch that character with your words, with your dialogues. Then the idea of inner conflict is crucial for writing, creating monologues, because it introduces the mental conflicts and dilemmas that drive the character's actions and decisions. So that shows the conflicting emotions rise, desires and beliefs for that add complexity to the character's psyche. So, internal conflict has to be created in a character's personality and decisions, so that the character may have profundity and a depth in the portrayal. Then we have voice and perspective. Establish a unique voice and perspective for each character, their worldview and life experiences. Consider their age, gender, cultural background, and social status when crafting their speech and mannerisms. So, what voice should they have? What perspective are they writing in? You have to see what voice will suit your character. That voice has to be created through words of a monologue. What kind of people and setting will suit your monologue? You have to keep this in mind, because so many people, you have to express the aspirations, planning, plotting, dreams of the character whom you want to portray as the speaker of the monologue, and then make that character develop himself or herself by doing these kinds of things. So, our audience should empathize. Audience should have, vulnerability with the character, because then this will help you in viewing the character. This will help you in the peaceful deliberation of the play. Then, for furthermore on, we have consistency and growth. Ensure consistency in character traits and behaviors throughout the monologue. Show growth and evolution in the character's arc as they confront challenges and overall obstacles. So, you have to keep in mind that the characters should be consistent. Your writing should be consistent. Character traits should be consistent, because it is a monologue. It is not the full length play where you have opportunity to reshape a character and show the evolution of that character through certain actions. Here it's your narrative that does the job. It's how you narrate becomes the reason for people to understand a certain audience. For example, that the last Duchess was very different kind of a person, and in that monologue, when she appeared, when she is being talked about by her husband, then we get to see so many layers in both, in their relationship, in their personalities, and that make the entire monologue very interesting. So there is subtext and nuance. Every text that is written in drama has a nuance. You need to focus on the nuances also, in the subtext also. How will you create your character's knowledge? You can revealing hidden layers of meaning and intention. So incorporate subtext and nuance. So that will add to the dialogue persona of your character in the monologue. Then non-verbal cues and gestures to convey emotions and subtext in addition to spoken words. So non-verbal cuts and gestures are important too, because these provide a deliverance of your message that you want to deliver, or the text that you want to deliver through your monologue. This can be done in addition to other things. You can also use the non-verbal clues for this kind of development of monologue. Then audience engagement. Engage the audience by creating characters that resonate with universal themes and experiences. Invite empathy, sympathy, curiosity through compelling characterizations and storytelling. So, what will you do? You will engage the audience by creating characters. The characters who are resonating with various kinds of themes and experiences. So that will invite the empathy of the audience, sympathy, curiosity, and then your characterization will be successful, because ultimately you are looking for the attention of the audience and impact on the audience by putting up a play and a monologue inside that play. These are some of the writing resources on the websites, on the web pages, internet, where you can practice writing of monologues on your own. Discover websites which are good for giving you training. They also give some tips on the structure, character development, and delivery. Then there are access databases of monologues for actors in performance, offering a diverse range of for auditions and showcases and performers. And the example of a website that helps you in writing monologues is the Playwrights Center, which offers resources for playwrights, scriptwriters, including workshops, script consultations, and access to a database of contemporary plays featuring monologues. So this is how you can do some self-training by trying your own hands on writing monologues with the help of resources available all around the internet. So this discussion is about these things only. I'm sure that I have been able to give you certain points to think on, how to write monologues, when to write monologues in a play, and what are the things that you should keep in mind while you are writing a monologue. So this is for now today's discussion, because we have more writing lectures dedicated to writing, more to follow after this. So there will be a further topic in the next discussion that I'm going to offer to you. So this is for now. The resources of the pictures used are these, and I will meet you in a different lecture now. Thank you very much.